The supervisor, excuse me, the financial analyst and project manager expense approval training. EAs and expense reports have the exact same approval process. Okay, so as a FA and a PM, you will have access on your manage approved organizations, and manage approved expense reports. If there is something waiting for you to review and approve, you should be able to see it on your Manage My Desktop. I have this EA that requires approval. I also have an advance that requires some approval and an expense report with a charge on it and so forth. And I can launch from these, or I can simply go to expense authorizations, manage approve expense authorizations. Anything that requires my attention will pop up as an outstanding task, just like the timesheets do. So just like how when timesheets are signed, it's going to automatically populate for the supervisor, it's going to do the same thing for expense. You can look at it in form or table view. If you want to look at it in the same view as the employee, same thing with the charges down here. If you wanted to review those, I recommend you click, this is for the authorizations. Come to workflow, you can see who needs to approve what. So, it's like I need to perform this task for the advance. Okay, yeah, great. My advance has been approved and it disappears from my approval. So let's hop over to the expense report because it's the exact same screen and works the exact same way. Here we have it. This is my expense report, number 7 that we did. Used expense authorization number 6. Where are we in this process under workflow? Well, I need the following people to review or approve it. So I'm going to log in with my test account, which is what I'm logged now as a financial analyst for this project. To perform this task after I review it, meaning approve, and I think it's silly that it says perform, or reject selected task. So with that in mind, that's all you need to do as a FA, what to actually approve and or reject. If you reject it, reach out to the administrators because they do need to change and clear out this workflow. Rather, I would recommend that you notify the employee of what they did and give them the opportunity to correct it, and it'll start the workflow over for them. Otherwise, your rejected will sit there until it's cleared out. Even after they fix it, it will still say rejected. So we need to make sure we clear out the workflow. So let the administrators know that you need to do so, and they will take care of that. Okay, so that's all there is.
I gotta come back in 20 minutes anyway.
I know, I'm gonna.
All it is perform or reject. Now, as far as your review, I want to give you some additional items to help you with your review. If you want to see what they charged on their timesheet, you can click on labor support. This will tell you based on the days of that trip what they charged on their timesheet.
So let's grab these guys. What should I click it on?
I don't know, not freezing.
All right, so we have the labor support, which tells us the timesheet information, right? And we also have the payment information if you want to see it, but the one I really recommend is this voucher distribution. This will show you what the voucher is going to create before you export it. So I can clearly see here that this account and this project is going to be populated and the organization number is following. So based on that, that's where I can expect this cost. So to see what the preview of the actual expense voucher is going to look like, go to voucher distribution. If something's not right here, okay, we need to fix it. Then the other thing I want to show you is under workflow, to review the receipts, you come to the employee line item where the receipt was attached, and you click on view attachment. View attachment will download the attachment itself, and you can open it up and you can view it. This is one of those reasons we decided to go with an actual overall receipt to help along with the process of your review, as well as printing out the backup for your bill. Any questions with reviewing and approving? The process you're doing now, same thing. Just pay attention to the charge codes and take a look at the voucher distribution line to really make sure that everything's going where you want it to go. Any questions on that?
Yeah, David, just a quick question. So when the FAs go in to review and approve, if there's something in there that's not correct, can we change it? Or do we have to get back to the employees?
Ginger, I can't recall. Did we set that up that way? I think we did.
What way?
He has an FA. Let's find out. I'm going to change my airfare to 600. Right? And I'm going to save and continue this. Yes, you can change it.
Okay.
Or you can set it back to draft. Because of that, I would recommend that instead of rejecting it, you can actually hit the reject button. And let me show you the actual process. Because you as the FA have the ability to do that, you click reject, you put in your explanation. It will be marked as rejected. Then come down to the bottom, click new, click delete, save and continue. So you're tricking the system into thinking a change was made. Change to draft status. Put your explanation into why you reject it, why you're changing it. Usually I put clearing the workflow. This will then force the employee to resubmit and redo the attachment.
Okay.
Right?
If we don't, yeah.
But if we don't check that, it stays exactly where it's at. So after I've made this change, explanation. Changed airfare to 600. After I made the change, updated my expense report, my voucher distribution, under my purpose and details. Right? It now says 600. But the workflow still is in the exact place it was before, and now I can perform the selected task. So yes, to answer your question, you can make changes. You have the ability to continue it forward or to send it back to the employee.
Okay, so if their receipts were correct and their amount was correct, but say they had gone over the allowable expense, so we needed to change that, we could go in and do it, and the employee wouldn't even know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, great. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see, it's moved on to Eric. And by the way, you will get emails that say, this has been, you need to approve it. So you're going to get electronic notifications as well. So I can perform this one, and then as a primary admin, I also have the ability to approve that one. So that's all it is to perform the selected task. You're going to follow the same exact methodology and practice for your expense authorizations. Okay? Just like that, once it's finally approved and you no longer have any tasks, it is then removed from your list. Any questions on this screen? Awesome. All right, let me show you how to print. We'll go to print expense report. I'm going to put in, let's see, expense report ID. What was that ID I wanted to print? I think it was expense report number 7. Oh, it's in approved status. So you can search here, by the way, just like with timesheets. Came in with outstanding tasks, or if you want to search for one, you can also search for it here. By picking the status that you want to search for, maybe you want to see only things that have been processed or voided or rejected, you could do that. So which one? Let's see. This was the one approved, so I want to copy that one. print. I can put the value in and change it from self to primary admin or whatever your function may be. Maybe it'll be FA, and I want to see the details. I can print. Oh, I have to hit my group, sorry, and hit print. And here's the details of that expense report. Approval, signature, my FA, PM, and primary admin.
David, when we're done looking at this, I have one more quick question.
Sure.
When we're reviewing the expense report, I didn't notice, can we see comments that employees have written on
Absolutely,
their
yes.
expense?
Yep. So when you're in the actual review, down here, you can look at the comment here. Look at it in, like, for example,
Okay.
and if I wanted to look at it in table view, I could do that as well. It's up to you. For employees, I find the form view is better. For administrators, table view seems to work better because you're reviewing everything.
Yeah.
And you can still, if you need to change allocations, you can. Come in here and change the percentage of this or whatever you need to do to move things around per each one.
Okay.
Have
Great.
that capability. Great question. Any questions on printing or any others in regards to, FAPM role or expenses? That's great. That's all I really have for expense reports and EA approval. Pretty straightforward.